Hi, everybody, and welcome to video number 666. Yeah, I can't believe I'm doing it. Today is St. Patrick's Day, if you cannot tell by my green colored attire. Today, I want to talk to you very briefly about how to have difficult conversations. I'll tell you a little story about my difficult conversation this morning. I have a friend, we're building a relationship, and he had said something about someone else that bothered me. And I got it into my head because when things go in my head, all sorts of stories and my imagination can run wild. And then I am never going to talk to this person again. I'm going to leave the area and move to another country. Didn't quite go that far, but I do see this person on a regular basis. And I knew that I didn't want to be uncomfortable the next person time I saw him. I didn't want to be uncomfortable around the person he was referring to. And I don't like being uncomfortable. However, having difficult conversations is even more uncomfortable. So what I typically do is just shut it down, pretend like it didn't happen, and wishfully hope that the situation just goes back to the way it was. But I know as a coach, I coach people around having these conversations. So if I want to have any integrity, I better be doing what I am helping other people to do. So I called him up, and I'm going to give you all a script when you have to have difficult conversations, whether it's in your professional life or in your personal life. These are difficult things to do. They make us feel uncomfortable, and we don't want to do them. And the majority of people that I know will run rather than move forward into it, because on the other side of having those conversations is a sense of peace, is a sense of happiness, is a sense of confidence, and knowing that you can sleep at night. As I mentioned in yesterday's video, when I am stressed, I eat Tums. I don't have to eat any Tums. I don't have to worry about what's going to happen when I see anyone that I'm at odds with if I have those difficult conversations. If I'm at work and I have to have one of those conversations, it makes working with that person so much easier. If I am in charge of someone and I have to have one of those conversations at work, it makes our employee boss relationship so much better. So having those difficult conversations starts like this. I need a specific behavior that that person is doing. So I'm going to give you an example from work. So and so, when you show up late all the time, I think you don't really care about your job. And I would really love to know if you, what your thoughts and your feelings are around it, because I feel a little disrespected. I feel worried that we're not going to be able to get stuff done. I feel worried that the customers might not might go to a different place because we aren't here to serve them. So all of these things go through my mind. So I feel worried and I feel a little bit disrespected. And I would really love it if you could at least let me know when you're going to be late, or let someone else know you're going to be late so we can prepare for that. And if you do that, then we're going to get along so much better. When I was getting my master's degree, that's a process called, it was from the book called The Awareness Wheel or something like that. Now, remember, that was like 30 something years ago. So, but it was a red book and I'll never forget it. So it's specific behavior. I think, I feel, I would love it if, and if you do that, then we're going to get along great. Now, 30 years later, I have a version of my own. First of all, I need to ask that person if they have a few minutes to talk and tell them what it is. So I know when someone says, "Hey, I need to talk to you," I think I'm going to get fired. I think they don't want to be my friend. I think all of these thoughts. So let the person know what you want to talk about. Then the next thing, if they are available, to say, "Okay, look, when this happened yesterday, my initial thought was that was really a mean comment to make, and I felt uh, pressured because I felt like I was in between two people, and I would love it if if you want to talk about that person, don't do it with me. Please don't do it with me because it makes me feel really uncomfortable and I don't like it. And I would love to be able to be friends with you, but if this continues to happen, I don't think I'm going to be able to. So to be able to have one of those conversations, not only are you able to share, you're asking that person and allow that person to share what their thoughts are, why that happened, without getting defensive, without me getting defensive. Because when I get defensive, it shuts everything down, because that person goes into defensive mode, feeling like they have to defend. I get angry, I get resentful, I start telling the stories, and then it doesn't go anywhere. So Asking, do you have the time? Saying in a very specific way what behaviors can be seen, felt, heard, observable behaviors. This is what I thought when that happened. You can even say, what do you think about that? Well, I'd love to come together and maybe have some sort of discussion. And then we set a boundary around that. And then we move forward, right? And then we've already set a consequence with that boundary if, in fact, you don't think you can do that. I mean, I can't change you, but then I'm going to have to change and I might not be able to hang out with you anymore. That's the boundary that I'm setting. Then I'll have to stick with that boundary. So these are difficult conversations to have. They are not always pleasant doing it, going through it, but the more you can do it, the more practice you get, the easier it becomes, and you will have the relationships you're looking for, both professionally and personally. All right, done with video number 6. I will see you all tomorrow.